there is no part of the brain that where you can say, oh, there's the self. And so the self is actually a perception that the mind creates. And so what happens is when you have thoughts like, I'm not a good person, or, why was I so stupid to let this happen to me? The self goes into the thought room and your mind generates a self perception. And that self perception joins with the negativity of that thought. And the self or the person actually feels like they're becoming one with their thoughts. So suddenly that sentence, which is, I was really stupid, it's just a thought. But to that person who's in the thought room with their thought, their self is joined with their thought, they believe that that thought is true. And they forget at that point, well, these are just thoughts. And thoughts are just mental events. They are events that the mind is creating. That's what minds do. Minds create thoughts, and they're not necessarily true, especially thoughts like that. It might be partly true, but it's not as true as this person who's suffering with them in the thought room feels that they are. So what's the cure? So thought is not meant to be our master. In fact, Michael points out that thoughts are, evolved in humans to enable us to do great things, but somehow they ended up being kind of also detrimental. So to get beyond that, we have to change the way we relate to our thoughts and think of our thoughts as tools to accomplish our goals. And if those thought tools are not helping you accomplish your goals, then it's time to let them go, abandon them, as ancient wisdom said. I saw that wasn't serving me well and I abandoned it. And so that's what we're asking you to do. So we're training awareness to recognize when it has entered a thought room, and then use skills that we're going to be building over the course of the next few weeks to step out of that thought room and not join with the thoughts, and to maintain an attitude of curiosity so that you recognize that you don't necessarily believe all those thoughts. They're just thoughts. It's something your mind created. So Michael says, our thoughts trap us in anxiety, sadness, and anger. Of course, we need thought to live our lives, so we can't just stop thinking. So the purpose of mindfulness is not to get you to stop thinking. Fortunately, thought itself is not the problem, but rather it is our identification with thoughts. It's the joining of the self with the thoughts and the feelings it produces that imprisons us in suffering.